there. My name is Sonia Lakhani, award-winning trademark attorney and instructor. And today we are talking about building referrals in the area of practicing trademarks. So I have famously said for years now that I have never used SEO, never run ads, never done anything like that to build my trademark practice. And that's nothing against ads or SEO. I just never really understood the process and I was always a little intimidated by it, and therefore tried to stick with what I knew and what kind of came naturally to me, which was networking, like everyone says, but really doing it in an intentional way that made sense. And this whole idea of working smarter, not harder. And over the years, the last several years, I have grown exponentially and experienced a lot of high revenue months and years in my trademark practice. And I attribute one of the contributing factors to that success is building really successful referral streams and partnerships. And so I wanted to talk with you guys today about what some of those are. And so you may not realize, but there are a handful of people, categories of people that really are just the best people to know when it comes to building trademark referrals. And they're going to see trademark clients before and more frequently than you ever will. And those potential clients are going to understand the value of what you provide and not question your skill set or usually the budget when it comes from that relationship, just because so much of it is already taken care of for you. And so it really is about working smarter, not harder. And so when we talk about networking and the types of people we want to meet, this video really is for you, because you want to pay close attention to really honing in on the groups of people that you may already know in some of these categories or that people can introduce you to. So first and foremost, our favorite, one of our favorites, I should say, I don't want to rank them. One of our favorite groups of people in the trademark referral world is franchise attorneys, franchise consultants, franchise brokers, anybody in the franchising world. And why is that? A lot of people don't realize that in majority of situations, you need a federal trademark registration in order to start or continue or finish up the franchising process. If we think about what franchising really means, it's licensing, right? It is renting out a brand to others for their use in the business world. And so as we all know, you can't rent out something that you don't own, right? So you can't rent out a house that you don't own. So if you don't own the brand, how could you possibly license it out and create a franchise around it? And so franchise attorneys, franchise consultants, brokers, they are dealing with people every day who have successful enough businesses that have grown to the point where they are interested in franchising, that they have potential franchisees already looking to move forward, and they need to really finish up the legal process and get all their paperwork situated. And so logic tells us that if you know franchise attorneys, franchise consultants, and you develop relationships with them, you're here to serve. And they are not going to be worried about you sort of switching lanes and taking, some of their clientele or poaching business, because you don't operate in that world. Now, a lot of franchise attorneys have smartened up and they've taken 2 weeks to trademarks because they've realized the duality that exists there. And shout out to my franchise attorney students. You guys are doing great in your program and in your work. But a lot of them, like us, want to stay in their lane. People don't want to get out of what they're already doing, and they don't want to learn something new. And that's a great place where you can come in as a trademark attorney looking for more clients. And so it's really great when you specialize in a certain area and can offer that to clients who already need it. And it has been an absolutely amazing source of referrals over the years for me. There are so many other categories just like this that are almost a best kept secret in this field that I have leveraged and used over the last several years. I go into these categories of people in detail, just like I explained franchising attorneys and consultants. I go through all the other categories as well in my course, 2 weeks to trademarks, specifically the Empire tier, which is the version of the program that is geared toward becoming an empire, right? Building an empire. And so all the business surrounding the business side of a trademark practice. So not only do we go into marketing and all the different ways you can go about it, specifically building referrals, I disclose all the different categories I'm referring to, all the best kept secrets of the types of people you want to meet as a trademark attorney that are going to have really great referrals for you. And not only that, we spend hours teaching you a system on how to implement these little pieces of information now. So now you know who to reach. How do you go about reaching them? How do you create an approach that you can implement to find those in your network that you can connect with and build a relationship, add value, and start not only receiving referrals, but providing them as well. And so that is something that we spend a ton of time on during that portion of Boss of an Empire. We also spend hours on pricing strategies, pricing examples, and how you can use certain pricing methodologies in implementing into your practice. We spend hours on actually conducting a consultation. I have an entire training called Conquer the Consultation, because as you may have realized, there is an art to how you conduct a consultation in the trademark world, at least. And there is definitely a framework that exists. I teach it because I designed it, and it has proven very successful, not only for me in building a high revenue trademark practice, but for many of my students as well. It is the class that has been famously reputed to have one attorney say she closed $15K of new trademark business in only 4 days after watching Conquer the Consultation. So if you are interested in learning more of all of the different trademark referral categories, as well as working on the rest of the business side of your trademark practice, join me in 2 weeks to Trademarks. Our class is starting live July 11th. For the first time in 3 years, I am teaching it live, and you don't want to miss out. It's an opportunity, and by live, I mean on Zoom. We're still in the COVID world. So by live, I mean on Zoom. And for the first time in 3 years, you have the chance to really sit in an online classroom, ask questions every day, be a part of the live experience, and not just watch videos afterward, which of course you can do if you'd like to self-study. So join me on July 11th. I'd love to have you. DM me, reply back, reply to an email that you've gotten from me. You can email me, contact me through my website, but you want to visit 2weekstotrademarks.com. And if you can't remember that, how about teachmetrademarklaw.com? This is Sonia Lakhani again, and I'll see you next time.